Hey! You are watching Information Battle. Today we will discuss the world's most devastating and destructive viruses. So let's start. The first virus in this list is Marburg virus. Marburg virus disease is a highly virulent disease that causes hemorrhagic fever, with a fatality ratio of up to 88%. It is in the same family as the virus that causes ebolavirus disease. Two large outbreaks that occurred simultaneously in Marburg and Frankfurt in Germany, and in Belgrade, Serbia, in 1967, led to the initial recognition of the disease. The outbreak was associated with laboratory work using African green monkeys sorted from Uganda. Subsequently, outbreaks and sporadic cases have been reported in Angola, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Kenya, South Africa in a person with recent travel history to Zimbabwe and Uganda. In 2008, two independent cases were reported in travelers who visited a cave inhabited by Rausa's bat colonies in Uganda. So the second most deadliest virus of the human history is ebolavirus. Ebolavirus disease (EVD), formerly known as Ebola hemorrhagic fever, is a rare but severe, often fatal illness in humans. The virus is transmitted to people from wild animals and spreads in the human population through human-to-human transmission. The average EVD case fatality rate is around 50%. Case fatality rates have varied from 25% to 90% in past outbreaks. Community engagement is key to successfully controlling outbreaks. Good outbreak control relies on applying a package of interventions, namely case management, infection prevention and control practices, surveillance and contact tracing, a good laboratory service, safe and dignified burials and social mobilization. Vaccines to protect against Ebola are under development and have been used to help control the spread of Ebola outbreaks in Guinea and in the Democratic Republic of the Congo (DRC). The third most destructive virus is Rabies virus. Rabies virus, formerly Rabies virus, is a neurotropic virus that causes rabies in humans and animals. Rabies transmission can occur through the saliva of animals and less commonly through contact with human saliva. Rabies virus, like many rhabdoviruses, has an extremely wide host range. In the wild it has been found infecting many mammalian species, while in the laboratory it has been found that birds can be infected, as well as cell cultures from mammals, birds, reptiles and insects. The fourth virus in this list is HIV. In the modern world, the deadliest virus of all may be HIV. It is still the one that is the biggest killer, said Dr. Amesha Dalja, an infectious disease physician and spokesman for the Infectious Disease Society of America. An estimated 32 million people have died from HIV since the disease was first recognized in the early 1980s. The infectious disease that takes the biggest toll on mankind right now is HIV, Adalja said. Powerful antiviral drugs have made it possible for people to live for years with HIV. But the disease continues to devastate many low and middle-income countries, where 95% of new HIV infections occur. Nearly 1 in every 25 adults within the WHO African region is HIV positive, accounting for more than 2/3 of the people living with HIV worldwide. Next virus in this list is smallpox. In 1980, the World Health Assembly declared the world free of smallpox. But before that, humans battled smallpox for thousands of years, and the disease killed about 1 in 3 of those it infected. It left survivors with deep, permanent scars and, often, blindness. Mortality rates were far higher in populations outside of Europe, where people had little contact with the virus before visitors brought it to their regions. For example, historians estimate 90% of the native population of the Americas died from smallpox introduced by European explorers. In the 20th century alone, smallpox killed 300 million people. Influenza virus is also the part of this list because it proved itself a destructive and deadliest. There are two main types of influenza flu virus, types A and B. The influenza A and B viruses that routinely spread in people. Human influenza viruses are responsible for seasonal flu epidemics each year. Influenza A viruses can be broken down into subtypes depending on the genes that make up the surface proteins. Over the course of a flu season, different types A and B, and subtypes influenza A, of influenza circulate and cause illness. The seventh but most deadliest virus of the list is severe acute respiratory syndrome-related coronavirus 2 SARS-CoV-2. Beginning in December 2019, in the region of Wuhan, China, a new novel coronavirus began appearing in human beings. It has been named COVID-19, a shortened form of coronavirus disease of 2019. This new virus spreads incredibly quickly between people. Due to its newness, no one on Earth has an immunity to COVID-19, because no one had COVID-19 until 2019. While it was initially seen to be an epidemic in China, the virus spread worldwide within months. The WHO declared COVID-19 a pandemic in March, and by the end of that month, the world saw more than 500,000 people infected and nearly 30,000 deaths. The infection rate in the US and other nations was still spiking. Last but not least, the last virus in our list is dengue virus. The leading cause of death in the tropics and subtropics is the infection brought on by the dengue virus, which causes a high fever, severe headache, and, in the worst cases, hemorrhaging. The good news is that it's treatable and not contagious. The bad news is there's no vaccine, and you can get it easily from the bite of an infected mosquito, which puts about 3 billion people at risk. The CDC estimates that there are over 400 million cases of dengue infection and that 100 million people suffer symptoms each year. It's a great marketing tool for bug spray. So that's the end of our video. Hope you like the video. And if you want to become part of our information battle, just subscribe to our channel and like and share the video. Thanks for watching.